I'm literally like on the edge, like, bro, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? And you've got so much fuel about nuggets, and I'm just like, bro, I want like a decent combo. You're like nuggets.
Nuggets, please.
Yeah,
Please.
stuff your nuggets.
Because you need to change your behavior, brother. On today's episode of the Perspective Changer podcast, because it's the beginning of the year and everyone's trying to change everything up, I want to chat to you about areas of people's lives that maybe they should look into changing.
Can I change my co-host?
That might actually be helpful. Still there. I see a lot of people these days suffer mentally, which I get. Life is pretty rough. I tend to find that people don't move enough, and that's normally a bit of a problem.
Say one change that somebody can do to get their life on track. It'd be start taking accountability. I mean, depending on how deep you want to go, and by all means, don't fact check me on this. But like, that's exaggerating. But you know, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll go back.
It really is a takeover.
How am I not meant to laugh at that, mate? After literally what I said before, you want to rip off around the body.
We'll get there in the end, guys. I promise.
Jesus.
Maybe.
I love that for the first 5 minutes of this podcast, while I'm just going off about the most nonsensical stuff. You're just like, I will not be dragged down by this. I will not be dragged down by this.
You can only
Stop your nugget talk. Stop your nugget talk. But I say 6 inches and the wheels fall off.
You can only resist so long before it's like, right, now everything's an innuendo and now my brain's in flow. I'm going to lose you again, I know, but I'm trying to stay on topic, bro.
It's nice in here.
It's nice and warm.
Yes.
I like it. I think that the two do kind of move together. Is like, once you start making a plan, you then start holding yourself accountable to that plan. And then the two start kind of like walking together, and you're building like this proverbial mental spider. And each skill that you add is another leg to the spider.
Anyways.
Right.
What?
Have you got days did you know to get us started?
I'm asking how you are first, bro. You know what I mean? I thought it'd be nice to you, man. Why are you trying to... What are you so ungrateful? Why are you cutting to all the good stuff straight away? You don't want to just be like, yo, what? How you doing? What's your current? How's it been? What's going on?
Sorry, my sweetheart. Typical bloke move of skipping the foreplay.
It's not even a bloke move, bro. It's just an ungrateful move. You know what I mean? I'm checking in with a brother. You're like, have you got a did you know? Well, look, do you know what I didn't know? It's how you doing, man.
Well, it
don't matter anyways, man. You're ungrateful. This is why I don't try to be nice to people. That's what it is.
I'm gonna really struggle to be nice to you today, huh?
Bro, I try to be nice to you. You just spat in my face. Now everyone knows if you're gonna spit in someone's face, spit in their mouth. That's all right. Don't spit in their face, though, bro.
Sometimes I'm just so disappointed in you.
What do you mean?
We're not even 5 minutes in and you're talking about spitting in people's mouth.
That guy talks that time quite nicely to my did you know?
I don't think I want to know.
What? Big Dave, did you know? I got 2 for you today, mate.
I've got 1 for you.
No, you damn well don't. We're going to treat this as a true or false, mate.
Okay.
You ready?
As I'll ever be.
True or false? The vibrator was originally invented as a medical device.
True.
Yes. Apparently, orgasms were believed to be able to cure many medical ailments.
So I see a thing before about...
I mean, I know I smile after them, so it must be true.
You find... It's... What's the word? The amount of, like, sexual objects that are found through, like, archaeological digs and all of that, like... Bro, even... They was common objects. Think about, like, all the times the men were out at war and everything else, like... Women still had to get their rocks off.
I mean, anything's a sexual object if you're inventive enough.
Exactly. What's your second fact?
True or false? The cornflakes were originally developed to suppress the urge to masturbate.
Well, you really picked 2 gems today, didn't you?
And he thought the train was coming off the rack, so that's what my spitting in the mouth.
Um, my mind says because of the way it's worded, say true, but I'm hoping it's false.
Oh, man, it's terrible. Oh, I can't sing that anymore. Um, it's bad, man. How does you? Which one you got though? True or false? Try that phone.
True one.
Yes, true.
It's actually true.
And the Keller brothers were deeply religious and believed that the food would help their brethren suppress the urge to pleasure themselves.
How?
I don't know, but do you know what I'm doing for breakfast on Monday morning?
Masturbating?
Into a bowl of cornflakes. Welcome to the podcast.
I mean, guess my hypothetical is going to be a bit more tame after that.
I should bloody hope so.
Yeah. But
Hypothetically, would you rather masturbate into a bowl of cornflakes or a bowl of crunchy nut cornflakes? Is that where we're going?
no, no. Hopefully,
Hypothetically speaking, how many times would it take before you have a full bowl?
see, and this is why I handle the hypotheticals,
Oh, no.
and you get a book to read off of.
Wonder how many weeks it would take. Quite a few.
Weeks.
To fill up a bowl.
You need more friggin' nutrients, brother.
It ain't that much coming out. There's a fair bit, but not that much. You know what I mean? We're not talking liters, bro.
Yeah, bro, I'm not talking friggin' fill the bowl in 2 sittings, but weeks.
I think it'd take weeks. Well, the more you do it, the less
Do you
comes
know
out.
what? I know for a fact if you keep looking through that book, there is a thing about like amounts or some weird fact about like quantities or something.
What
But
I'm saying is that
another day.
people should be having to go onto your Patreon to find this stuff these days because this is juicy.
Yeah, they really should check that out. And hey, there is far more aspects of life that we haven't spoken about, that we haven't been allowed to talk about yet. And we are more than willing to go there. So look out for that coming on Patreon.
Your brother up, you
But the hypothetical for today
send me like what?
is how would Dave kind of fare in an apocalyptic situation?
Probably pretty badly because my cardio is terrible. I'm not making it past 100 yards.
But like, say you wake up a day after a zombie apocalypse or whatever else. How do you think you're faring? Do you reckon you're surviving? Do you reckon you're popping your clogs? What's happening today?
I reckon I'll have a couple good weeks in me.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think Logic would survive a while because I'm going to looting. Like that's gonna be like a weird dream slash nightmare come true. Nightmare in the sense that well, a whole bunch of apocalypse happening, but dream come true in the sense that I just get to go looting. You know how much fun I'd have looting shops and that. Oh, me.
But then what are you looting for?
Survival tools, bro. I'm going straight to a hardware store and mashing that place up, man. I'm taking what I need.
Mm-hmm.
Taking what I need. You know, I can't go get myself guns that easily in this country, but I'm sure I could do some damage with a chainsaw.
The thing is, like, depending on the type of apocalypse and everything else, that's not necessarily the best weapon. You're gonna run out of bullets. But I always think of like in those kind of situations, you're either
Gave me a chainsaw and all sorts of stuff, man, and some canned peaches.
But
They'll survive.
even still, I reckon a bow and arrow and some kind of sword are your 2 best weapons because arrows you can reuse and the sword you can reuse.
Right, the DIY crossbow season.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know the one that, like
Or some jerry-rigged nail gun with.
At that point, you have to accept that. What's going to happen here? Well, either I'm going to die. Probably the easiest solution out of all that, really, because y'all don't know when that apocalypse is going to end and how it's going to go. We're going to survive and have to deal with whatever happens. So once you kind of accept that side of it, I think you'd have a lot more fun with it. You'd be like, all right, if I die, actually it's worked out all right. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to deal with this crap. It's long. I mean, imagine waking up every day just sweating because you don't know what you're going to have to do. It's long.
Do you know what though? Like,
if I could have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, I would be well aware.
Like, you have to channel all of your ancestors, you know what I mean? I'd be channeling Robert the Bruce, bro. Like, I'd be flicking things, man.
See,
I'd be learning all sorts on the go. How do I hotwire a car? Be learning real fast. Like, I'm telling you, I'd just be a criminal, but it'd be lawful. It'd be great.
Oh, yeah, see, I think I genuinely would thrive in a Mad Max kind of world.
That's my point. Imagine the satisfaction we get, yeah, if you just jack someone like 4x4 and hotwire it, and then just got to go bowling zombies. Oh,
Oh,
mate.
what did they
Oh,
call it when they used to go like hitting in America like mailboxes with baseball bats and all that? Just do that with zombie heads.
bro.
Just me and you riding around taking out
One of
zombie
us is
heads.
just like bowling them down in like a pickup truck, and the other guy is just laying in the back and just goes,
Alright.
"Surprise! Arrow for you, arrow for." Dave, I should have been driving. I can't see straight.
So, alright, to kind of like bookend the question and put a time frame on it, do you reckon you'd make it to old age if an apocalypse hit in the next year or two?
Oh no, bro. I got less than 10.
Less than
I
10?
got less than 10. I know that for a fact. Let's not be too egotistical.
Mm.
Ain't gonna be too long before they smell fat on me.
See, I reckon I'd fair, because like, I'm a tinkerer, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll take things apart, I'll fix them, this, that, whatever else. Like,
Bro, if I wake up
I'll
this
have a
apocalypse,
whole like makeshift
if I wake up
set.
this apocalypse, you're the first phone call. You're the first phone call. Bro, you good? Yeah, I'm on my way, bro. Yeah, sweet, cool.
Hey, at least I've had some company.
I could be alright. Logic
Oh,
and just handsiness, bro. Like, I think it would work alright.
literally, again,
And then we became rulers of the world.
I kind of enjoy those fantasies when everything just goes like, because again, like,
Bro, if I
the
get to no
moment,
legal looting, I'm calling your ass. Like, bro, yeah, you're gonna smash up B&Q in there. Alright. What? Hey, I swear it's next to a BK. Yeah. Wait, want to
so
the Whopper? Yeah. Cool.
this is where we have to reiterate, this is fully a hypothetical question, and we are not planning on
You
losing.
in that hardware store whilst I'm flipping a burger, man. Yeah, let's go.
But
Well, Dave, why are you cooking burgers? Well, the frying basket, man, is metal. It might be useful. For once, you're not just being fat. That's actually useful. Right. Now, if I cook the chips long enough, makeshift arrows, hungry?
what a waste of chips.
I've already eaten a fair few. Don't you worry about that. Bang it.
Yeah, it would be
Immediately
interesting to
just on
see.
Chat GPT, just like, how do I survive an apocalypse?
Well, it wouldn't exist. It's an apocalypse. Internet's down, everything's down.
Be
Like,
jokes if it didn't.
hmm.
Because you know someone out there would do that.
The worst thing is, yeah, I reckon if the apocalypse hit, but the internet stayed, nobody would really react.
Nope.
They'd just be like, okay, cool. Whereas if the apocalypse hit, or no, say the apocalypse didn't hit, but just the internet went down, that would cause the apocalypse.
Mm.
All right. On that note, should we wrap this up and go get into the episode?
Yeah, boy.
Let's do it. What's going on, beautiful people? This is the Perspective Chasers podcast. I'm your host, John.
And I had 20 chicken nuggets and a double cheeseburger on the way over here, which means it's a goddamn big day takeover. Walk on, bro.
I was starting to look forward to the takeover. I don't know if I am anymore.
Bro, I had nuggets on the way here, bro. I'm up.
Yeah, but those nuggets domino.
No, they don't. They don't
Oh,
stay
they
around
do.
long enough to be dominoes, bro.
Oh, they domino somewhere, brother.
No. They cartwheel, flip flop, and cannonball. That's what they do.
Eventually, but it definitely triggers a little something. Just appreciate that we're only stimulating two of your senses right now.
Thank God.
Right.
Wait, you actually smell that? I can't smell nothing on that.
So,
Okay, disappointed that it's not beefy, I suppose. Wrong meat, I know, but still. Ooh, imagine beef nugget. Beef nuggets would be alright, yeah. Does sound like a terrible euphemism, but I think beef nuggets would be alright. You good there, homie?
trying to be. What are we talking about today, brother?
So my beef nuggets, bro, but you gave me nothing in return.
There was nothing to give.
You could have come up with like dipping sauces or anything, bro. You came with nothing. You changed since you left the 100 kilo club, man. What
Yeah.
happened to you, bro?
I mean, I've eaten a fair bit today, to be
What
fair,
happened
but
to you, bro? sold your soul when you went into that 90 kilo club, didn't you?
No, but I think I can come back to that, to be fair.
Probably need to pause the pod and call the doctor for you.
No, I'm more just waiting to get into it, to be fair. I'm literally like on the edge, like, bro, what are we talking about? What are we talking
I
about?
knew it was beef nuggets,
And
mate.
you've got so much fuel about nuggets, and I'm just like, bro, I want like a decent combo. And you're like, nuggets, nuggets, nuggets.
Nuggets, please.
Yeah, but
Please.
stuff your nuggets. Oh,
No, that is a euphemism. And then shall be known for such thing as nugget stuffing on this podcast.
I'll tell you where to stuff your nuggets in a minute, mate.
Do you know what, man? You're just rude, man. Rude in the hypothetical, rude in this.
I won't ruin the hypothetical.
You were rude, but I was dealing out facts, man.
That
I
weren't the
asked you how you
hypothetical.
were, bro.
Yeah, that was just completely uncalled for and just,
Well, asking you how you were.
yeah.
Oh,
Mind your own
I
business.
didn't mean to trigger you. I'm sorry, homie. Do you want to unpack?
Pretty much.
I didn't realize asking you how you were was like the same difficulty as me trying to unpack my
Like,
lunchbox.
brother, you asked me to acknowledge feelings and how I am, and
No,
that's ignored
you could
stuff
just
that's
give a
very
generic.
back.
Yeah, mine. Anyway, that's
To be
very
fair,
apt
bro,
because you need to change your behavior, brother. On today's episode of the Perspective Chasers podcast, because it's the beginning of the year and everyone's trying to change everything up, I want to chat to you about areas of people's lives that maybe they should look into changing
can I change my co-host?
that might actually be helpful.
That will really be helpful. Send help.
All right, see you later. We
You need to get through this episode.
can do it a Tom Tit anyways.
You really could. So, what areas of a change have you got in consideration then?
I mean, the big one I always think about is like how you do like your actual physical routines.
Mm.
So I say a lot of people these days suffer mentally, which I get. Life is pretty rough, but I tend to find that people don't move enough, and that's normally a bit of a problem. And I find that if you actually start moving, if you go back through the archives of this podcast, you will see that at one point we discussed the power of going for a walk. And I still stand by this. I think movement is a good thing. I think movement changes things. I think movement gives you that good endorphin hit that starts to make you feel a little bit better about yourself. And it gives you time to think and actually compartmentalize everything.
Mm. I mean, depending on how deep you want to go, and by all means, don't fact check me on this. But like, that's exaggerating. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'll go back.
With a fisheye lens.
Ah!
So there's a lot of, like you said, literally just like pumping that blood around your body. It really is a takeover.
How am I not meant to laugh at that, mate? After literally what was said before, you want to rip off pumping around the body.
We'll get there in the end, guys. I promise.
Jesus.
Maybe. I don't know. There's no guarantees today. So like that really release. No word is safe today.
I love that for the first 5 minutes of this podcast, while I'm just going off about the most nonsensical stuff. You're just like, I will not be dragged down by this. I will not be dragged down by this.
You can only
Stuff your nugget talk.
so long.
Stuff your nugget talk. But I say 6 inches and the wheels fall off.
You can only resist so long before it's like, right, now everything's an innuendo and now my brain's in mode.
When you edit this, do it. You just keep it like a continuous innuendo count in the corner of a little thing.
Oh, that's going to be way too
We're
much.
probably already about 5.
More than likely.
You know what I mean?
But movement is important. There are so many.
Closest to the right number gets a shout out.
There's so many important aspects to movement, from like the release of endorphins, literally pumping your blood around the body, and like all of the kind of detoxification that your body does in that process. I think people lose sight of the fact that they're a living freaking organism.
Definitely.
Like you don't just have to sit there and grow roots. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to move around. Your body needs to bloody go different movements, different motions, different stimulations. Like, when you ain't been swimming in ages, how fucking nice is it to jump in a pool of fucking water? I'm gonna lose you again, I know, but I'm trying to stay on topic, bro. Oh my Jesus.
It's very nice.
It's nice.
Nice. Oh, it's nice in here.
It's nice and warm.
Yes.
I like it. Uh, yeah. There's definitely a lot to be gained from getting out, moving, and or even like dancing about the house. And I was dancing around to music at like 1 o'clock in the morning last night, just being an absolute div.
Degenerate.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like a PC word that,
Degenerate.
yeah, that was it. Yeah, I was just like, who the hell does this? And I just thought, me, back to dancing.
Happy people.
Exactly. But like, it's hard to be miserable and be frowning when you're dancing around the house. You got your tunes on, this, that, or whatever else. Like, you just get in a groove. Like, and I'm not somebody that necessarily enjoys dancing. I can't dance to save my damn life.
That's the best kind of dance.
Yeah,
Is when you don't care.
literally, dance like nobody's watching.
Literally. No, who cares?
Yeah, I think movement definitely is important. For myself, though, I think the biggest, like, if I was to say one change that somebody can do to get their life on track, it'd be start taking accountability. Because whether it's your fault or not, it's your life. So dealing with it regardless, like, if somebody knocks something over and spills it or whatever else and it's in your path, well, it's in your path, so take care of it. You might be able to step over it and everything else and that, but it's in your path, so take care of it. If you was to constantly take accountability, like, have you ever seen the videos of like, parents and their little children, and they show like if the child observes an action from the parent a couple of times, they start to mimic it and do it themselves. So we don't grow out of that. Like, even when you see social experiments as adults and that, and they do like experiments of like people standing up every time they hear a bell and they change all the people out and da 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 da. We're creatures of habit, monkey see, monkey do. So like, if you now constantly think consciously, I'm always going to be accountable, and whatever I come across in my life, I'm going to take accountability for. You're always going to be looking to make the best of your life, whether it's your fault or not, whether it's your place to make it better or not. You're still going to put in that work.
Yeah, I think that ties in nicely to change, though. Like, you have to be accountable for yourself in order to actually want to trigger change.
But
Otherwise, you're not going to change anything, right?
But that's what I'm saying. So the biggest change that any one person can do is starting to take accountability for their whole life, not just their own actions, even other people's actions. Again, it's not fair, it's not pleasant or whatever else. But if you take responsibility for it, if you help out in that situation, if you make sure everything's all right or whatever else, your life is better as a result of it.
True.
And so is theirs. If everybody worked with that mentality, like, I was seeing something the other day that was talking about like Western ideology compared to Eastern ideology, and how like in the Western world we're very busy and hustle and bustle, and it was referring to like a study that was done in Liverpool Street Station where people were just somebody laid on the floor and it was a test to see if anybody would stop to ask for help. And as always, I'm going to butcher it, but a very small percentage, if any, people stopped to help the person, and they tried various different people to see if it would change the outcome. And it really didn't. But you take that and put it outside of London into a slower city, far more people will stop. But the thing is, when there's so many people condensed, you get that other mentality where it's somebody else will deal with it. So if you've got that other mentality with your life and you think, oh, somebody else will fix that problem. Oh yeah, like somebody else will do that. Somebody else will take me on holiday. Somebody else will save for me or whatever else. You never take action yourself. And even if you're not the best person for the job, at least if you start trying to do it, things are going to start to get better. And you might meet somebody that is good at the job or whatever else. Like, say, I don't know, you've just moved into your first house and you're not handy at all or anything else. This is going to play nicely into you. So you end up going to buy like some tin of paint, and you don't know about painting the walls or whatever else, but just having that experience and just painting slowly or whatever else, you might find somebody in B&Q that is a decorator and you can pick their brain on a suitable paint to buy. Now you've learnt something for your whole life that you'll know, oh, cool, I use this type of paint on the walls, this type of paint on the ceilings, da 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 da. Opposed to go, oh, how do I paint a room? Yeah, I'll just phone a guy and he comes around in a couple of days and paints it for me.
Plus, there's a chance you might find a wild Dave in that loot.
I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about
Running
that.
around the house just shouting, "Wah!"
Mine, 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 mine. And Dave doing his trolley dash.
Supermarket sweep.
But yeah, I really do think that it's probably the most powerful, like, especially in terms of like mindset change that you can do.
Mm. I think the most powerful one is the one I was going to come on to in terms of changing it. So something that I'm doing is actually envisioning what you want or where you want to get to. Because without a vision of it, what are you actually working towards? Because you don't know.
But see,
Like, you don't even have a clue. Like, I get it, you could be working on projects that do have unknowns, like we do that, right? But I just think if you don't have a vision of at least what you want it to look like, then you're essentially doing something completely unknown, if that makes sense. Like, you don't even have an idea of what you want or how you feel about what you're doing.
but see, this is why I think accountability is so important because if you want to get to that place, you've got to be the one to put in that work. So unless you kind of say like, okay, it all inevitably ties in because it's all in the pursuit of like self-development and progress and everything else. So there are going to be interlaps, but again, like I think that the two do kind of move together. Is like once you start making a plan, you then start holding yourself accountable to that plan, and then the two start kind of like walking together, and you're building like this proverbial mental spider, and each skill that you add is another leg to the spider.
Mm.
So like once you've got kind of accountability, then you've got consistency, and then you've got like your planning, and there's multiple aspects that kind of come together that all kind of move together, but they all weave in their own time and in their own way kind of thing. Like we've both been on this journey for a similar amount of time, but yet we'll hit different realizations or different kind of like mental milestones or content milestones at different times. Although we almost started around the same time.
Mm.
But again, like we've had through most of our friendship is there's many life parallels, but life is very different for the both of us
Mm.
on a day to day and when you zoom further out. But yeah, I do I do think it's important to take the time and make that plan though, because again, if you don't know what you want or where you want to be, how can you know what you got to do to get there?
That's what I'm saying. And like that's why I think like vision's become a big thing for me, like starting this year off. Because if I don't have an idea of what it looks like, then how am I going to know anything about how I'm going to get there? Because I
Mm,
don't know what I'm working towards, or I don't know what I'm working for. You see what I'm saying?
mm.
Like, it's all well and good saying, "Oh, I want to be successful," or "I want to achieve this." Okay, but why? Like, what's the end goal? Because if you have no idea what it is, how could you possibly motivate yourself for it? You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Different. It's different if you know. Actually, it's not because if your end goal was something like, "Oh, I just want to have $1 million in the bank," cool, but at least you can. That is a vision.
mm.
There's 7 numbers on the screen. Sweet. So at least they have a vision for that, right?
I
But
think,
like, if your end goal isn't monetary based and it's actually just being happy, what does that look like?
and this is what I was
Because
literally
it's
just
so
about to
generic
say.
to say, "Oh, I just want to be happy." Yeah, but what does that look like? Because I can vision it and feel it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how
Mm.
strong it runs in my own head. Is I have the idea of what that looks like, what that feels like, and what I want it to be like. Whereas when I didn't really have those, I was kind of like, well, I'm doing something and it feels great and I want to get somewhere, but I don't know what it is. But
So,
now that I have that vision, I feel far more empowered to go and get it. You know what I mean?
see, for me, I just want to have fun. Like, I genuinely just want to kind of enjoy life and that. Like, it's weird because I can have fun in different ways. Like, if I had endless money in the bank and I was on the beach in the Bahamas one weekend and it ran the other side of the world another weekend, like, I'd probably be having a fair bit of fun. But then if I feel like I'm being dragged here, there, and everywhere else, and I don't like, I can't do it in my own time or whatever else, then I won't be having fun. And although I like exploring and everything else, like, I think it's having that air of like sentience or control around your own kind of actions and that. So like, although saying something like, I want to be happy or I want to have fun is very vague. Once you start defining that to you, like, if, like, driving for me is fun. So now, if I had an outlet where I could go driving once a month and take a car on a track or whatever else, or drive a new car every single month, at least for an experience, then that's going to be something that I enjoy, and it's going to. I lost that train of thought. Yeah, I fully lost that one, bro. Sorry. That fizzled out. I got distracted by you playing with your shoe, to be quite fair. So I was like, what is this dude doing? And then I literally lost the train of thought of what I was saying.
Somebody's blaming me.
I'm going to blame you.
That's poor. That's what I
I
say.
know, but you're here, so I can blame you. So.
That's poor.
Is there anything else you want to talk about change?
No, see, those two things are kind of the big ones for me. But this way to tap into what you were thinking about it, you see?
Mm. Yeah, like I say, there's many aspects to it, but I do think they all start with kind of taking responsibility for yourself. Because if you're always waiting for somebody else, that's why I think like acceptance in many areas of life is probably the biggest change that you can make. Especially if you are somebody that's like, oh, my life's rubbish, why me, da 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 da. Like, look, I grew up as a kid asking myself that very question of why me? And it was in terms of like not having my dad. So it's like, why do I have to be the freaking little boy that don't have a dad? And I spent years and years mulling that question over. And I cried over it. I felt bad over it, this, that, and everything else. And then eventually I was like, well, why not me? Like, what makes me better than anybody else? Why should I be exempt from any kind of like suffering or heartache or this, that, or whatever else? Like, bad things happen in life. Okay, cool. Right? What are you going to do about it? So when you actually get like that, where it's just like, okay, cool, well, bad things are going to happen in life. Good things are going to happen in life too. But you can't just kind of accept responsibility for when things go good. You've got to accept responsibility for when things go bad as well. And sometimes then it's not going to be your mess to clean up, but you've got to do it anyway. And if you don't do it, sometimes life gets worse. It's like, imagine a bird drops one on your car.
Oh, it took me a whole second to realize we actually
Oh, a flying
met an
bird.
actual flying bird taking a crap on your car. I was like,
Yeah, not a
where
resentful
is he
ex.
going with this? Like, what? Like, what does he mean by drops one? Like,
I mean,
awful imagery there, but
even
Jesus.
still, you have no
God's sake,
control about those.
drop your gas in my car, get out of my car, you tramp. Do that in the podcast studio.
No, don't do that. Do not contaminate the airways.
Put
But,
him in the airways.
but that's what I'm saying. So like, you don't have control over what else goes on in the world, but you have control over how you respond to it.
True.
But you gain that control by being aware that you're choosing how you respond to something. So it's like, there was, damn it, who was it that said it? I was going through a bunch of podcasts the other day, and somebody said a good line, and I apologize for not actually being able to quote them, but it was basically like, um, damn it, I'm even butchering it in my own head. It's something about like, say your second thought, because your first thought isn't necessarily you, but then the second thought, you thought about the first thought and then considered it and actually made a conscious decision. But the first thought is an impulse. The second thought is you. But I thought that was quite interesting to think about. Is there anything else for this episode?
No, sir.
I've got an interesting seed for this episode, and it's something for you to actually try with a friend, your partner, your kid, whoever. But swap your phone with them and scroll through their algorithm for 5 minutes and see how it goes. See if you engage with the same type of stuff they engage with and what kind of stuff the algorithm offers them. It might offer you some insight and you're just rapidly shaking your head.
No.
See, I was going to suggest we do it sometime and just have like a react to each other's algorithm. I mean, I ain't got anything to hide in my algorithm. Well, nothing I'm ashamed of anyway. It looks like one of us does. But I think it's going to be interesting to take that time and just to see kind of what social media or whichever platform you're checking it on kind of pushes to other people opposed to what it pushes to you, because it's easy to get caught up in this, like, this is what's going on in the world. But then if you look at somebody else's algorithm or somebody else's news feed or whatever else, they get pushed a whole bunch of different stuff. So just kind of being aware of it in that, I think is kind of a fascinating little trick to kind of increase your own level of awareness about these types of things in the world. Anyway, that's it for the Dave Takeover.
And if you do follow that suit, and you do take the other person's phone, when you open up
With
their social
permission,
media platform, once you're scrolling through the algo and you realize what it is, click the magnifying glass and search Perspective Chasers Podcast and hit that follow button.
then do the same with bar progression. All the best, and we'll catch you on the next one.